So that's the basic gist of it, man. If there's anything you want us to cut out for whatever reason, just let us know. We'll go ahead and cut it out. Other than that, say whatever you want. Dave and I don't care.
I'll try not to drop any curse words or anything. Not that I cuss.
Oh, feel free. Feel free. It's all great, unless you do not want to.
But before anything, I just gotta give a special thanks to my good friend Sarah Minnick, because she was the whole reason that you guys were able to get in contact with me and me in contact with y'all, and this whole podcast happening in the first place. So, Sarah, thank you.
Sarah was super fun.
She was super fun. I really enjoyed talking with her. It was good times.
Yeah.
So I guess that's as good a time as any to toss it in there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Preview with a Prior, where Dave and I speculate about upcoming episodes of Better Call Saul, often incorrectly, and that is not at all how we usually do the opening. So, Dave, how do you like them apples?
I appreciate that, Brian. It's funny because I had a whole thing that I was going to say if you introduced me like normal, like the Saul Goodman introduction. Completely forgetting that we do Preview with a Prior totally differently. Yeah. But this is the first podcast recording with the new setup. I got Pro Tools 12, the newest version now, and I'm running my phone through a DI box into one of our Neve clone preamps, so it should sound probably about the same.
That sounds awesome. I wish I knew what all that was. I mean, I know Pro Tools because I got musician friends who use that, but I don't know the other stuff. So I'm like, locked me after Pro Tools.
What I understood in that was he has a telephone. That's what I got out of all that. But ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening right now, sorry, Brandon, to cut you off. We do that all the time as well. We have with us on the phone Brandon Hampton, who plays Ernesto on Better Call Saul. Brandon, thank you so much for coming on our crappy little podcast.
I wouldn't call it crappy.
We would.
We do.
Yeah, absolutely. We love having folks from the show on, and it's kind of funny. We actually did the call about 10 minutes late because right as I was expecting you to call, my wife got home from work and wanted me to move my car, which means in Chicago, that means go park 3 blocks away so she can have my spot. So,
sounds tough.
Yeah, so I drove 3 blocks, ran all the way home, and when you called the first time, I was just coming in the back gate. That's why I had to call back. So thank you for being patient with us and allowing me to call you back.
No problem. It's all good. It's all good.
Exactly. So, Brandon, let me ask you a very important question to start things off. Hold On by Wilson Phillips, the best karaoke song of the 90s or the best karaoke song ever?
The best karaoke song of I Don't Know.
No.
Because, unfortunately, I haven't heard it, so I'm sorry for everybody out there who's like...
This interview is over.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
I can't even believe this anymore. I probably won't get hired again because I don't know that. But
Brian, everybody knows that Girls Just Want to Have Fun is the best karaoke song of all time.
Oh, yeah. What, you know that one, Brandon?
I know Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Well, I know that the hook part. Girls just want to have fun. Whatever, however it goes. But
pretty much.
Exactly.
You got it.
All right. So, yeah, just silliness out of the way. In all seriousness, so you play Ernesto on Better Call Saul. What is it like being relatively new to this craft and working with all these veterans that have just been acting for years and years and years? What is it like being on the set with them?
Well, I've kind of been pursuing this since 2003, busting, my butt ass, trying to get to the spot and booking roles, and then, the roles getting cut or not making it to the final point. But I think Better Call Saul has by far been the greatest thing that has happened to my career. I feel like Aaron Paul, right now, just because it's been a blessing, working with Peter, working with Vince, working with Bob, Michael McKean. It's been just, I'm like after every episode that I'm like going to Twitter, like seeing what people, post. And I'm like, I've never been able to do that before. And I got somebody who tweeted about Ernesto. I'm like, wow, this is insane,
I thought you were going to say that you felt like Aaron Paul because you were supposed to get killed off at the end of the first season. They kept you around.
Well, when I first auditioned for the role, it was just, a crownie in the mailroom. I didn't have a name or anything, and then they gave us names, Bert and Ernie. And I thought it was just that one line in that one, celebratory scene of Jimmy, becoming Albuquerque's newest attorney. And I thought that was going to be it. And then all of a sudden, I got brought back again. And then season 2 happened and they brought me back again. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then everybody's around me, dude, do you know how big this show is? If you don't, then you need to go sit and watch Breaking Bad and watch every episode, and see, how big it is. And, I was just like, wow. And then to see all the tweets and everybody saying, oh my gosh, Jonathan, he looked just like Gus's son. And that's 1000% Gus's son. What's Ernesto's, last name? Even last night, somebody put a tweet up and it was like, it's probably far-fetched, but it'd be really cool if his last name is Freeing. And I'm like, I don't know anything. I wish I knew. I wish I could say.
That's a theory that never occurred to me. That's for sure. But I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. That's a good. See, that's the kind of thing I wish I would have thought of. That's pretty good, but apparently that's not true. So when you started off as, like you said, like that bit part, and pardon me if I don't use the proper terminology. I find out all the time when I speak to folks in the business, I have no clue what I'm talking about. So I apologize if like, how did it feel going from somebody that was just kind of in the background in that first scene to now you're reoccurring, you're in more and more episodes. How does that feel?
See, I like to think that I've worked so hard, and I remember my first job that I booked. It was on In Plain Sight, and I booked the line and everything, and then I got on set, and it was like, "Oh yeah, background's over here," I'm like, but I booked the part. I'm okay. I'm sorry. Yes, so. I thought it was awesome just because Breaking Bad audition, I don't know how many times I was like, man, like I'm just, and I went to callbacks and I had a callback for Tyrus Kidd on Breaking Bad and I didn't get it because I was too young and I was just crushed and it was just, I was like, well, whatever's meant to be, it'll happen. And then I auditioned and went to the callback session with Colin Buxey and then booked the part. And I was just, I didn't care. They could have called me background. You could call me whatever you want, but I made it into the show finally. And I just thought it was just great. And I was like, I'm happy I'm here. I'm doing this. I'm going to do the best that I can. And then at the end of the day, that's the work's done. And then to get called back again,
you felt validated, right? Like it was like, yeah, man, like that's great.
It's like, finally, it all paid off. Thank you.
Are you from Albuquerque originally?
No, I'm from a little city called Houston in Texas.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's very small.
There's you don't have to tell me where you live now, but currently you're not a resident of Albuquerque, correct?
No, I live up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. However, I leave tomorrow for LA for a couple of days, and then I move to LA officially 2 weeks after.
Oh, nice.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, because I hear I haven't been there, and I mean it seems kind of obvious that a lot of the locations and stuff where they shoot at have become like parts of tours, and like parts of walking tours and tourist destinations. Are you ever tempted just to go stand outside any of those locations, like in costume, just see if anybody like picks up on that or wants to take a picture with you? Because I totally would.
No. I know the Sandovals. I know they have the RV and they do tours and everything to all the locations, but it's never occurred to me. I know Combo, the guy who played Combo in Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he did the tours back in the past, but it's never really just. I'm like an extrovert, but an introvert at the same time. So I like to just remain mysterious, and people be like, "Hey, don't I recognize you from something? Do we go to school together or something?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not from here." And leave it at that, And they're like, "You look familiar."
Years
no.
Years and years ago, when Jim Carrey was like the biggest thing in the world, they had like an MTV special, and he would like drive around and then run into like a small convenience store. And he would run in and scream, "Oh my God, it's Jim Carrey," and then wait just long enough for people to take a look at him, and then he'd run out the door. And if I had any sort of notoriety, I would be doing that like every weekend just to amuse myself.
That would be fun. I was just until recently, I quit my job because just life and everything. But I was a barista at Starbucks, and so when I tell people I'm an actor, and it's like, "Oh, so you do background, you've done, some stuff, can we see you in anything?" And then when I tell them Better Call Saul, they're like, "Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh." I'm like, "Oh my God, dude, before you stop working here, can we like get your autograph stuff? Because, it won't be all cool and everything." But,
Well, I would imagine a lot of baristas though are kind of actors, like people who are looking to break into acting, and you did it, man. Like you made it happen. So you're like the alpha barista.
I wasn't barista for too long. I mean, a lot of people, they're going to school for film. I went to school for filmmaking. They're going for filmmaking or graphic design or to be a barista. They just want to pursue the road of coffee. And hey, I drink coffee every day. So I'm like,
Is Michael McKean as intense in person as he comes off on screen? Because I see him as somebody who I feel like he'd be the kind of person, like, even if he was being jolly and jovial, that he would still be kind of like intense to be around.
No, Michael, he is absolutely lovely. Every time I've worked with Michael, very professional. He takes his craft very seriously. And he's a music man. I remember, I'm kind of old school. I grew up with, all of my family members, pretty much old. And so I remember seeing Sam Cooke and the shuttle van, and he was like, "Oh, have you ever heard Jesus Gave Me Water?" And he played it, and he's totally, a dude. He's the man. It was just funny because to be an actor, they're like, "You need to watch this and you got to watch these movies and everything." But I kind of just try to, stay away because I don't want to feel like I'm copying or anything like that. And I can't remember what I was watching. I think it was Scandal I think it was Scandal. And then right after Scandal went off, Coneheads came on, and I was like, "There's Michael! Oh my God!" And it was just, he's great. I love working with Michael, and I have a stunt double to drive the car because I can't drive a manual transmission. Everybody's like, "Dude, you're not a man until you know how to drive a manual transmission."
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, but you don't.
I didn't learn until I was in my mid to late 20s.
Yeah. And also, a couple things. One, I still don't know how. Like, if you cut your leg off, I could probably get you to the hospital, but I'm not going to take you to the store to get groceries. You know what I mean? Like, but also being able to say, no, I don't drive a manual transmission car. I have a stunt man who drives a manual transmission car for me. That is way cooler than knowing how to drive a manual transmission car.
I mean, I guess if you put it that way, it's cool. But then, they get to drive around with Michael sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm just like on the other side jumping into the seat,
Well, you don't have to tell everybody that part. You just say, I have a stunt man who does the driving for me, and just leave it at that. Let him fill in the blank.
Yeah. But it's okay because I'm learning how to drive manual transmission so that I don't have to go through that. And I can get all of my camera time because I kind of, tend to be a little jealous.
Just remember when you're on the highway, if you shift to R, that's for really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep. From 5 to R.
Gotcha.
What? Better Call Saul was picked up for a season 3. Are you gonna come back for season 3, or do you even know yet?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm like praying, but I can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be back for sure. Everybody wants to know about Ernesto. I'm just glad I was there to help, carry along the story in whatever sense and whatever they have planned for season 3. If, Ernesto is there, to carry the story on or, been great. If not, then it's still been it's been the best thing that happened to my career and everything that I've done, even with all of the films, I remember booking Independence Day 2, and they were like, yeah, you should do Independence Day 2. You should do that. It was a conflict because I was supposed to be filming on Saul the same day, and I was just like, I'm going to do Saul. I if it comes to it, I will do Saul, and I owe them, everything because.
Way cool. So are you in Independence Day 2?
If I make the cut, those things you just never know. If you make the cut, then you're there and you go to the movie theaters and you're like, oh, that's where I should have been. And
is this the same production team as the first one?
I'm not sure. I'm like kicking stuff around.
I thought that was Brian because he's always making noise.
I'm always knocking shit over.
No, I'm fidgety. It's like a normal thing. Like people get into these like patterns. Like when they're on the phone, they get up and they like walk around and like pick stuff up and they're like, oh, let me do this. And they put the iron in the refrigerator or something. It's just, or maybe not. Maybe that's just me.
I've never put my iron in the refrigerator, but from time to time I'll like put my phone in there, like just forget random ass shit. Before we let you go, thank you so much for calling, but I got to ask you because everybody has kind of a fun story. What was your audition process like to get on Better Call Saul?
I went to the audition, and I originally auditioned for the role of Bert, season 1, episode 8. And Kira, she's amazing. She's like, hey, Brandon, you mind going out and, looking over this role and then coming back in? And so I went out, learned the lines, came back in, we taped it, and then I had a call back for it. And it was magical. The whole experience was magical because I went in, auditioned, Colin Buxey was in there, and I just knew like right after the audition, he's like, oh, really great job. I just knew I got the part. And it was like, man, finally, after all of those auditions, Breaking Bad, I finally got the part. And it was perfect. And then it was like, you have those glasses that you're wearing. Keep those glasses, and then I was like, wow.
So that's your glasses, not costumes?
No, these are my actual glasses that I wear prescribed.
Interesting.
So I guess that's a spoiler alert. If I was like, oh, my glasses.
Easter egg.
Well, that's good. You get to bring a little, you get to bring a little bit of yourself into the role.
It makes me look a little bit more like Gustavo. We'll see.
Well, you're his son, right? What's Ernesto's last name?
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. I'm like, I don't know. If it pans out that it's free, great. I remember somebody posting, I've never heard a black guy named Ernesto. Really? And he's like, because he's not just black, he's Chilean too. Duh. And I'm like, we'll see.
Well, my prediction, what I hope happens is, since there's a vacancy with Kim leaving, that Ernesto and Brenda vie for the. No, wait, Brenda's the receptionist. She wouldn't be in line for that. So Ernesto gets the job. How's that? Takes Kim's place. I had this whole thing where Ernesto and Brenda would come down and do a cage match for the job at the end, but Brenda's not a lawyer.
I love Sarah. I mean, I wish if it comes to it, that we both get the job, you know, and we're both there, you know.
Or Kim steals Ernesto and Brenda comes with.
Well, you know, there's a split. There's, you know, McGill and Wexler, you know, not just whole one thing. So maybe they can have both. You know, I don't know.
Well, I honestly think that Omar, I for some reason, I think Jimmy's going to take Omar with him over to his private practice. That's my theory. That's a good theory to have. I like Omar. He's great. And he helped move his Coca-Cola, you know, Coca-Bolo guest, you know. Yeah.
I'm saying Coca-Cola because I'm in New Mexico and it's like Coca-Cola's everywhere.
What's
that? Coca-Cola?
It's like this, I don't know how to describe it. It's like this man who's playing like this flute and he's got like these dreadlock things sticking out of his head. I don't know.
Sounds like a hippie.
Well, whoever he is, he's no Zamfir. And I'm probably the only person on the phone call or even listening that gets that joke.
Zamfir. People probably hate me because they'd be like, "You've been in New Mexico for 5 years and you don't know what a Coca-Cola is. Go shoot yourself."
Well, Brandon, absolutely awesome to have you on. Thank you so much for coming on our little podcast. See, you said you were nervous, man. You did just fine. We are very, very chill, dude. We're so chill.
I just had to say, and you know, y'all are chill, but before I went out to dinner and it was supposed to be for happy hour, but we missed the happy hour and I had 2 Moscow mules and then came home and had a glass of wine because I was just like, you know, but no, I'm glad you all had me on and thank you so much for inviting me on the podcast.
We're like spiders. We're more nervous than you are.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We're more afraid of you than you are of us. It's like see, Ernesto, you're the successful one. We're the dorks with computers and microphones. You're the one doing something with your life.
Yeah. I mean, Brian just called you by your character's name. That's how professional we are.
Yeah.
Hey, well, we can be on a first name basis, you know?
Absolutely.
That's how good his acting is, Dave, is that I often confuse art for reality. You ever think about that?
I do now.
The man has a stunt driver who drives him around in a stick shift car, Dave. Don't mess with Brandon, okay?
It's actually my twin Braden. He does it for me.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on again. Do you have a Twitter or website that you want to, that you want to plug for everybody?
Upcoming projects or anything?
Yeah.
Upcoming projects?
That's exciting. I'm going to get some followers.
Yeah, we hope so.
Okay, the Twitter handle is at Brandon K. Hampton. All together. Well, of course, it's Twitter. I'm still trying to learn the Twitter thing. It's weird. It's like I post one tweet and, you know, get a retweet or a like, and then I post another tweet and get absolutely nothing. And I'm like, well, screw you. I just won't tweet anymore. And so I Snapchat because it's gone in the day and no one ever sees it again.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here, this is how you're gonna get some followers. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. So the first 2 people that listen to Preview with a Prior and follow Brandon's Twitter and can prove it. So I don't know if you got to do like a screenshot, but either way, first 2 people, screenshot that you following Brandon. I will send you the first 2 people. I will send you a Breaking Bad T-shirt. And that way you'll get at least 2 followers from us.
Okay, so what if I create a Twitter account and follow myself? Do I still get a Breaking Bad t-shirt?
Yes. If you're going to go through that effort, you get a Breaking Bad t-shirt, yeah.
Because I want a shirt. I remember the one with Sarah, you guys were talking about how you get them all the time, and you got so many of them. So
no, we don't get them all the time. They sent 1 box.
Oh, 1 box.
Well, Brian was giving the impression that like we have all these shirts that he has to like. They're so inconvenient to him. But yeah, as of now, it's a one-time deal, and I think we're getting low.
Yeah, we are. We've given out a lot of them, and we are getting pretty low. But I'm totally going to use the ones that we have left over at the bottom of the stack to bribe at least a couple people to follow you on Twitter.
Okay. I won't create a fake Twitter, and
how about this? Since Brian handles the shirts and I have nothing to do with it, I'm going to go ahead and say that if we get another shipment of shirts, we're going to send one to you. Brian,
it's fine. We'll save it for the people who really want one. I was fortunate enough, season 1. I don't have a Breaking Bad, but I got a Better Call Saul hoodie that I got sent to me as a gift for the University of American Samoa. So I'm happy with that.
That's awesome.
Wait, is there really a University of American Samoa?
I don't think it's real. I looked it up. I don't think it's a real university, but I could be wrong.
Man, that'd be great.
It shortens to UAss. That's awesome.
I know the thing is to find real businesses and real locations. So maybe it is real. Maybe I was just looking at the wrong site or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Brandon, I am going to let you go, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. So first 2 people, make sure to follow Brandon on Twitter, make him feel super important, and give him a couple followers. And make sure to check us out Monday after episode 9. Holy cow. Episode 9 of Better Call Saul. It's Saul Goodman will be up and live as the credits start to roll. Make sure to check us out on the Nothing Important Podcast at nothingimportantpodcast.com. Brandon, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys, and stay tuned for 209.